Okay folks, greetings from the workshop, and this is a new project that I alluded to. This should be fairly quick turnaround, but just wanted to give you a quick overview. What you're seeing in front of you is a 2023 Kawasaki Z900RS Special Edition, the Bumblebee Edition as it's sometimes affectionately known. Some really beautiful upgrades on this. Olin shock systems, lots of performance mods on the front end, some really cool features. This one's had a bit of a knock, and there is a story behind it. I'm not going to share it publicly, but suffice to say that this essentially went over on its right side, hence things like the snapped off brake lever. And when it went over, it broke off a few things, and that's why the bike is in here to be repaired. There's nothing structural. It was literally a dead stop and went plop. So let me walk you through what needs to be done. The obvious parts: headlight trim, right indicator assembly, instrument cover, so that whole cover has to be replaced. We've got some scuffing on here, we've got some scuffing on the mirror back here. It still works, but it's just bad. Brake lever, obviously. Handlebar end weight right there, which is off. The actual handlebar, it's hard to see, is bent on this side where it went down and pushed that up. That's got to be replaced. The clutch cover, which is right here, you can see that's just grazed. The bike runs, there's no issues with that at all, but obviously that's not a great look. The barrels will have to be replaced at some point. Now, thankfully, there's nothing structural in here. It's not leaking, bike runs, doesn't make any weird noises. Cam cover will need to be replaced, as will this gasket. What's harder to see, obviously this has had a shave. What's harder to see is the radiator has had a knock and push up to the right, so that will have to be replaced. And then we've got little cosmetic things like the foot peg rubber, and the actual peg itself will need to be replaced. And then the indicator on the back will need to be replacing, so it's just had a knock and that's come loose. I might be able to pull that apart and screw it back in, but as a matter of course we'll replace it. There's absolutely no other damage to the bike whatsoever, and as I say, everything works. It starts, stops, rides, blah blah. No dramas at all. So I'll do a couple of parts on this and just kind of show you what we're going to do. Like I say, it's a relatively easy series of repairs. There's a bit of work to it. Pop the seat off, get the tank off. My friend down the street, this is the only bit that might be challenging, but the PDR guy down the street is an absolute wizard, I've got to say. I will leave a link or tag him in this post. That's just hit the ground, dented this. It hasn't leaked or anything like that. There's no penetration. But that will need to be PDR'd out, so that's paintless dent removal for people that don't know, and that process means he can get in here, use his tools, make this all flat again, and then we'll take this up to Gosford City Smash Repair, and they'll be able to blend that, just strip this bit back, hopefully not have to go through the clear coat, because all of this paint underneath the yellow and black is behind a clear coat, and hopefully they can just blend a clear coat in on top. So essentially it's replacing all of those parts. Obviously the lowest hanging fruit is starting with the easiest stuff like the indicators and trim and the instrument cover, getting the handlebars off and switched over. And I'll kind of walk you through how we do that, just so you know that everything is going to line up properly, and pretty straightforward stuff, but I think kind of interesting. So this will be one, I think, of a 3 or a 4-parter. So again, 2023, Kawasaki Z900RS SE. This one only has 647 kilometers on the clock. You'll see that, or 684, there we go, 684.7, so it's basically brand new. That's why we want to do this. So there you go. This will be a multi-parter. Stay tuned for that. And you will see the progress, how we return this thing from, unfortunately, looking a bit unloved to looking brand spanking new again. Cheers, everyone.